Hi all, welcome back. Today we'll see the topic Agile Methodology. Why do some software teams ship a work product every 2 weeks while others spend a year building something nobody actually wants? The answer is Agile. In this video, I'm going to walk through everything you need to know about Agile methodology, where it came from, the theories behind it, the manifesto that defines it, how Agile teams actually work day to day, the ethics that hold it together, and why almost every modern software company has adopted it from some form. Let's get into it. What is Agile methodology? Let's start with the basic. Agile methodology is an iterative project management approach that emphasizes flexibility and continuous improvement to deliver value to stakeholders. It has originated in the software industry in the early 2000s, and since then it is adopted across various industries you can think of, not just tech, because it is an effective way to manage complex projects where equipment keeps changing. As its core, Agile breaks larger projects down into smaller projects called chunks. These sprints are tackled by cross functional teams working together with continuous feedback loops guiding every step. So instead of trying to plan an entire year of work upfront, which almost never survives contact with reality, Agile teams plan a bit, build a little, test it with real feedback, and adjust. The theories behind the agile management. Now, agile isn't just a set of tips someone invented one day, it's actually grounded in real management theory. There are four key theoretical foundations that explain why iterative adaptive approaches beat rigid planning when things are complex and uncertain. First, complex adaptive systems or CAS. This treats themselves are self-organizing systems that continuously adapt to changing conditions rather than blindly following a fixed plan. Second, lean thinking. This comes from lean manufacturing. The focus is on eliminating waste, maximizing value, and delivering only when the customer actually needs, nothing extra. Third, empirical process control. This is an idea that decision should be based on an observation and experimentation, inspect and adapt rather than trying to predict everything in detail upfront. And fourth is the system thinking. This views the organization holistically. It's about interaction between people, process, and product, not just isolated parts working in silos. Agile software development. So, how does this play out in actual software development? Agile software development is an iterative, incremental approach to building software where requirements and solutions evolve through collaboration between self organizing and cross functional teams. This picture a repeating cycle plan, design, build, test, review, and then right back to uh, plan again. This loop just keeps spinning sprint after sprint, and the product gets better each time around. Traditional waterfall versus agile model. This is a big one. The comparison that shows up is basically every exam and interview. Traditional or waterfall model, it has a sequential phases and requirements are fixed and documented upfront, and customer involvement mostly happens at very start and very end. Working software isn't delivered until late in life cycle. Changes become expensive once a phase is signed off. It relies on heavy formal documentation, and it's best suited to stable well understood project. Now compare that to agile, iterative and incremental delivery in short sprints. Requirements evolve based on feedback, continuous customer and stakeholder collaboration, working software delivered every single iteration. Change is welcomed at any stage, just enough documentation to support delivery, not mountains of paperwork, and it's best suited to dynamic, evolving requirements, which, let's be honest, is the most real world projects today. Classification of agile management. Agile isn't one single framework, it's a family of methods. Let's run through the major ones. Scrum is the most widely used. It is an agile framework where teams self organize and work toward a common goal through iterative and incremental cycles. Next, extreme programming on the XP is a more engineered focus, think pair programming, test driven development, continuous integration, and constant refactoring. Next, Kanban visualizes the workflow on a board, limits how much work is in the progress at once, and drives continuous flow rather than fixed length iterations. Next, lean software development applies those lean manufacturing principles we mentioned earlier, eliminate waste, amplify learning, deliver fast, and empower the team. Crystal family. It is a set of lightweight method that scale based on project size, criticality, and team priorities. And next, finally, the feature development or FDD organizes a work around designing and building features in short iterative cycles. The Agile Manifesto and Principles. Now, here is a document that shared it all, the Agile Manifesto. Everything in Agile ultimately traces back to four core values. Number one, individuals and interactions over process and tools. Number two, working flows over comprehensive documentation. Number three, customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Number four, responding to change over following a plan. Notice the manifesto doesn't say the item on right has no value, but it says the item on the left is value more. Beyond these four values, there are 12 guiding principles. I won't really read all 12, but just have a look. Agile project management. So, how do you actually manage an agile project from start to finish? Agile project management replaces detailed upfront planning with adaptive, iteration based planning so teams can respond quickly to change while keeping delivery predictable. There are 5 stages life cycle: 1 efficient, 2 speculate, 3 explore, 4 adapt, 5 and close. Alongside these life cycle, there are few key focus areas: backlog and release planning, risk driven and value driven prioritization, servant leadership instead of command and control management, and empirical tracking using tools like burn down and burn up charts. Agile team interaction. Agile lives or dies on communication. It depends on tight, transparent interaction among cross functional, self organizing teams supported by few lightweight ceremonies that keep everyone aligned: daily stand up, sprint planning, sprint review, retrospective. And there are three core roles in most agile teams: the product owner who prioritizes the backlog and represents the customer voice, the scrum master or coach who removes the blocks and facilitates the process, and the development team itself, cross functional, self organizing, and responsible for actually delivering the increments. Ethics in agile teams. Here are some people often overlook because agile depends on so heavily on trust, autonomy, and close collaboration. Ethical conduct isn't just have nice to have; it's a practical necessity. Honesty and transparency, respect for team, accountability, sustainable peace, customer trust, and fair collaboration. Without these, the whole agile model breaks down. Trust really is the currency that makes fast, flexible teamwork possible. Agility in design, testing, and documentation. Agile also reshapes how design, testing, and documentation get done. On the designing and testing side, architecture emerges and evolves with each iteration instead of being fully fixed upfront. Team practices test driven development, writing tests before the code. Continuous integration runs automated test on every single change. Refactoring keeps the design clean as the system grows, and testers work alongside developers throughout the sprint, not just the very end. On documentation, agile teams aim for just enough documentation, value not exhaustive, documents stay living and get updated continuously. Teams favor executable specification and automated test as a form of documentation. User stories and overall documentation exist to the support team. It's never produced just for its own sake. Agile drivers. So, why are organizations rushing towards Agile in the first place? A few key drivers are market competitiveness, changing customer needs, technology evaluation, cost and risk reduction, quality expectation, and globalization and remote work. Capabilities and values. Underneath of all sit five core values: communication, simplicity, feedback, courage, and respect, plus key team capabilities like adaptive planning, cross functional skill coverage, continuous integration, transparent communication, collaborative ownership of code, and real capacity for reflection and continuous improvement is also needed. And about the summary, let's bring it all together. Agile in is grounded in theories of adaptive empirical management. It is not just a set of techniques. Agile manifestos, four values, and 12 principles anchor every agile method. Scrum, XP, Kanban, Lean, Crystal, and FTT offer different flavors of agility for different contexts, and success depends as much on team interaction, ethics, and values as a process of mechanics. Design, testing, and documentation all adapt to be lightweight, iterative, and responsive to change. And business drivers, speed, quality, changing needs continues to push organization towards the agility. Thank you.